Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we give you a piece of breaking news. Meghan Markle never accepted that there can only be one queen. As Prince Charles reportedly said, there can only be one queen. This fact didn't sit well with attention seeker Meghan Markle. The royal family ruled supreme long before the Acts of Union established Great Britain in 1707. And there has always only been one king or queen at any time. Yet this is a fact that I'm not sure Meghan Markle could ever get her inflated ego around. That Meghan found herself in a situation where she couldn't just stamp her feet and demand that changes be made to suit her whims was most likely a very alien situation for the Duchess of Difficult. This is where she found herself. And Prince Charles, being the experienced royal that he is, reportedly saw it coming from a mile away. There's only room for one queen in the royal family, and it ain't Meghan. Meanwhile, the queen bent over backward to welcome you, and you threw it back at her like it was not good enough. You had a beautiful wedding, a lovely house, but you knew you were using Harry and thought you could become a billionaire of their royalty. It ain't happening because there is only one queen. Speaking to The Sun, Nigel Cawthorne, a royal expert and biographer who has covered the recent Prince Andrew scandal, commented, "I think he, Prince Charles, likes strong women, but in the firm, there is only room for one queen. I think he foresaw considerable problems ahead for the firm." Harry and Meghan amplified the popularity of the royal family in the way that Prince Andrew and Fergie did at the time. Someone like Meghan Markle was never going to settle for third place behind Duchess Kate Middleton and Queen Elizabeth. Meghan has to be the center of attention, and as Prince Harry goes to great pains to remind us, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Not this time, it would seem. Meghan Markle fans blame everyone for her royal exit, except her, of course. Despite the misplaced belief that Prince Charles and other royals spend all their free time defending Kate Middleton from the media, they couldn't be more wrong. As he has with Kate in the past, Prince Charles has offered Meghan Markle advice and moral support. As Cawthorne explained, Prince Charles genuinely made an attempt to support what Harry and Meghan were looking for, as long as it wouldn't upset other HRHs. In truth, however, there wasn't a lot he could do apart from offering moral support. Charles has been around long enough to know that it's not easy coming into the royal family. Contrary to the narrative that royals get an easy time of it, they don't. And yes, that applies just as much to Meghan Markle as it does Duchess Kate Middleton. The only difference is that Meghan's fans don't lay the blame for anything she does at her own feet. It's always someone else's fault. Prince Charles and the Queen were both fond of Meghan Markle. In truth, Meghan had everything going for her when she came into the royal family. She was seen by many as a royal breath of fresh air and someone who could help raise the royal family's profile, especially in the United States. Meghan, Harry, Kate, and William were seen as the future of the firm. Both Prince Charles and Meghan Markle reportedly shared a love of art, culture, and history. Prince Harry's father was more than happy to walk Meghan down the aisle at her wedding. Meghan Markle got everything she wanted. The welcome into the RF before she was married, the wedding she wanted, the expensively renovated huge apartment in Kensington Palace, the expensively renovated house in Windsor, when the apartment didn't suit, the charities and causes she wanted, the sole trips with the Queen, the engagements she wanted, not too much hard work or too boring, all the staff to run the voting bits of her life, a huge expensive wardrobe, all the expensive and heirloom jewelry anyone could want, and it was not enough. So it beats me why she was the only surviving one and not thriving. She's now living in the country she wants to be in someone else's mansion for free, and wearing Harry's unmentionables around her neck, so it seems to me that what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Let's not forget that heading into her wedding, Meghan Markle had the British public and media in the palm of her hand. Sadly, it took her only a few short days to set the wheels in motion for what would eventually see all of that goodwill turn to dust. The upcoming tell-all biography from Omid Scobie could be the final nail in Meghan's royal career. I can't see any way back if this book throws shade on any senior royals. What a joke. They want privacy but want to stay relevant and in the public eye. They want to be independent but still want money from Charles. They want to up their profiles by being associated with the royal family but drag the royals through the mud. They advocate being carbon neutral but fly in private jets. They say they support charities but spend thousands on clothes that are worn once. They say family is important but have cut off nearly all extended family. They say mental health matters but destroy other people's mental health by leaking poison pen stories and court issues. She says the royals are the family she never had, but she humiliated them in court papers and books. She says she advocates women's rights and independence, yet she lives off her husband and father-in-law's money and fame. She says the Brits are toxic but won't give up her title. Some royal fans still comment that, "I think this whole mess is sad. She used everyone and anyone, including her father's connections. She could get where she wanted to be. Unfortunately, she couldn't get anywhere high enough for her lofty ideas. Then she met Harry and ta-da, she was right where she thought she should be, at the top of the heap. Unfortunately, she is much too arrogant and self-centered to really accomplish anything. She may have some good ideas, but she is too headstrong to take any advice or help from anyone. She wants total control. I really don't see any true happiness in the future for them. Every time they open their mouths, they put their foot in it. Sad couple." Meghan is a real piece of work. She was incredibly lucky to have the job on Suits given her acting is quite subpar. That was like the lottery for her because although she was nowhere near wealthy, she could apparently live a comfortable middle-class lifestyle. She then meets and begins a relationship with who was arguably the most beloved member of the royal British family. She suddenly has all the wealth and fame she craved, but never had the talent to attain on her own. This wasn't enough for her, so she made a move that I'm sure she and just Harry were convinced would turn them into the most sought-after celebrities, massive eye roll, in the world. As we've all seen, that backfired in spectacular fashion and couldn't have been more poorly planned and timed. As a result, they're no longer financially secure and are engaging in the equivalent of high-end couch surfing. Ironically, she's far less financially secure now than she was when she was on Suits. When will Tyler Perry boot them? Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry have fame and millions of dollars, which neither had to work for. But instead of just walking away and creating their own life together with what they've been gifted, they have to turn this into a never-ending media campaign for pity. I'd say Harry should be ashamed of himself for allowing this to happen, but I think he is just as responsible for this as Meghan, as it seems he has long been resentful of being the second-born, and this is his chance to stick it to William. The royal family, including the Queen, Prince Charles, Sophie, Countess of Wessex, and the Cambridges have gone out of their way to support Meghan Markle, but this ungrateful woman will never be satisfied. She only cares about how she feels. She cares about no one, not even her own family. She uses them as a tool for her own purposes. She is fake, a liar, and the most hated woman at the moment. Prince Harry, meanwhile, was becoming a helpless weakling, allowing a narcissist woman to destroy his family and cause damages to his own country. Everyone is to blame except for Nutmeg, nothing to do with the fact this self-appointed champion of human rights went in like a bull in China's shop to modernize an institution that is several hundred years old and also foist her woke agenda on us. Fortunately, the public quickly saw through her and her faux smile, all because she couldn't get her own way to do things as she wanted. She thought she would be in a very rich and powerful position, with free reign to do exactly as she wanted, and it wasn't possible in the royal family. Not what she expected at all. What a joke. The Queen does not control the press. This is a free country, and there is freedom of speech. Controlling the press is called dictatorship. Markle get herself into very sticky situations like Wimbledon drama, her own family circus, sending her so-called anonymous friends to talk to the press, and hiring an American PR agency that doesn't understand how the RF works. But discuss this news. A viewer from America said, "Not for the first time the ball has landed in your court, Harry. Why don't you defend your family? You remember them, right? Your grandmother, the Queen, who has given you very much love, support, and money. Your father who continues to bail you out, and the grasping creature you married. And of course, your brother who loves you and only has your best interests at heart. Do remember to appreciate them and perhaps love them as they love you, you ungrateful, disloyal sod. God, you make me feel like Basil Fawlty having one of his tirades. Smarten up. Meghan Markle has been playing the long game all this time and is continuing to do so. She saw a great opportunity to get a much-coveted English title with no thought to who she destroys and disrespects to get it. Get pregnant so she's connected to Harry forever, and then claim that she's been abused by the very people who welcomed her and helped her, so she can sell her story and climb socially in the celebrity world. She's a despicable and narcissistic human being who desperately needs therapy. I feel sorry for Harry as he's the one she's playing. After all, the media watches and reports. If she wants no criticism, she needs to keep her mouth closed and live quietly. She ignores the fact that both Camilla and Catherine were heavily and regularly criticized for years. Neither has done anything that merits criticism. Both have behaved impeccably, not made a fuss and complained, just carried on quietly. It is when lies are published that the royals sue, such as the case against Tatler at the moment. Meghan has no justification for saying she wasn't protected. It's just her huge ego making her think there must be only adulation for her in the media. And you? What do you think about this news? Please tell us your opinion in our comments section below. And as always, come back to our channel for all the latest news on Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the royal family, right here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
In order to capture the royal family, Meghan is required to hold the supreme position, an ambition to take power. Meghan is implementing the elements to match the duty, trying to win over the public in his name. Is the wife of a prince. Many people have voiced that shrewd face, depose her. How could her face be emotionless? She was a cold-blooded person, but she tried to appear pure and caring.